Go to the White House real quick, and I'm gonna show one of my PvP builds. I got a couple of them I'm gonna showcase for y'all, but this will be the first one. I call this one kind of the rail splitter AR build. It's just two different ARs I run together. I got the unfortunate enough that I was lucky to pick up the Eagle Bear when I was running the raid. So we're gonna start out first with the specialist. So we're gonna come over here. With this build, we're gonna have the survivalist active, and really the main reason for that is gonna be the mender mine. So the mender mine really is obviously. Also the med kit. I really enjoy the med kit. We get this take effect right away. It repairs over 5 seconds. So let's say you're low on armor, you get in cover, and you got a guy pushing you. You throw that armor kit on, you get it on, and he starts putting DPS on you. Well, that armor kit is still gonna repair over 5 seconds. So you got 5 seconds to react and put some DPS back on him. Obviously, you want that 15% assault rifle damage because this is gonna be an assault rifle build. Um, so yeah, let's jump into the build now. Primary weapon really is gonna be Eagle Bear. Mine's hitting at 25.9 base damage. It's pretty good for AR. If you don't have the Eagle Bear, really my big piece of advice would be if you're would be to run either the Merciless for the brutality holstered, which you got a 5% chance to deal 100% explosive damage, or also you can run a a police M4. And really what that is for the fast rate of fire on these. This one hits at 22.1, but it also has measured on it. So on the bottom half of that magazine, it gives you 30% total more weapon damage. Really, if I could get an ideal M4, it would be this one with measured. But I would also want in the middle section, I would want to have either extra or Allegro, one of the two. Like I said, if you have that 20 round mag, then you'll probably get away definitely with the Allegro in the middle. But yeah, my primary or my secondary, I'm sorry, is the rail splitter. Really, I consider it my primary because I run with this one more than I do the Eagle Bear. Um, the Eagle Bear, really, the only reason why I have it is for the holster talent, and you gain 10% bonus armor while you fire your weapon. So this one hits at 18.6, perfectly measured on it. 20% rate of fire on the top half, but it has negative 10% weapon damage. And it really, honestly, even though it has negative 10%, it melts, man. I tell you what, this thing will melt somebody real quick. If you hit all your shots, this thing will melt you, I promise. And the bottom half is negative 15% rate of fire and 30% total weapon damage. It's a very good weapon, and I'll show you how I have it laid out. I have their crit hit chance on the site, on the laser pointer for the crit hit chance, and then I have stability on the muzzle, and then obviously I'll have the 20 rounds in the back, and then it's just a cool little skin I got. So we'll start out with the mask. I went with the Fenris, and just for the simple fact that I get that 10% assault rifle damage. I rolled 48% damage to elites on it, and really what that's for is you're in the DZ. There's a lot of elite NPCs, so you want to be able to melt the NPCs as well. Because I find a lot of times when I'm PvPing, 99% of the time there's NPCs around us. So if I can knock those NPCs out real quick, that helps out a lot. So yeah, I got this assault rifle damage. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an offensive mod slot. It would be so nice if it did. Um, but yeah, so this is the mask I chose. You could go definitely the two-piece True Patriot, and you would definitely have more armor. As you could tell, this one's probably be my highest, and this one, I could definitely throw on there. Or if you wanted to go Hazard Protection, you could go Hollow Man as well. But again, like I said, you would probably lose 10% if you don't put a Fenris piece somewhere else. The chest piece, I'm running it Gilligard. The first reason why is because you get that 5% total armor right off the bat. Plus, mine rolled with 11.5 and 16,000 armor. So I went ahead and rolled a nice little weapon damage slot there. And then I got the Unstoppable Force. And really what that's for is kind of the weapon damage, really. So you kill an enemy and it grants you 1% weapon damage for every 20,000 max armor. So here you see my build has 400. So you got 20, let's say 20, 40, 40,000. That's 2% weapon damage right there. You know 20 times 5 is 100, right? So every 100,000 I'm getting 5% weapon damage. So that's 5 times 4 right off the bat. That's 20. That's 22% weapon damage right there, guys. So it adds up for sure. And also I got two offensive or two defensive mods. I got one offensive mod slot. And then for the holster, I have the True Patriot. And really, the main reason why I have this one is for the uh, the critical hit chance as well as the two offensive mod slots. And this one works out well. My backpack is a Raldi Holdings. It's got the 10% accuracy for the one piece. 20.5% total armor. I rolled that thing on there. And then it already had the 24,000 armor plus harden and spark. Now with spark, it's pretty good because that grants you another 15% weapon damage. So think about it, You're already getting all that weapon damage from the Unstoppable Force. You're getting the weapon damage now from the spark. You got the 12% weapon damage on the chest. The 10% weapon damage from the mask. We go down to the gloves. And I rolled 12% on there. And it came with devastating, which is really nice. And then you have, I put a 5.5% weapon damage mod on it. So essentially, you're getting about 22% weapon damage on the gloves just by themselves. And then with the Gilligard, I went ahead and did a two-piece for the hazard protection. Just a little bit of hazard protection, not a whole lot. And then it had 10.5% total armor on there. I would have loved to have grabbed those 13%, but it's all right. I'll make do with what I have. And if I had 11, I would have that 10% more weapon damage and cover. But as of right now, I'm unable to activate it. So I'm all right with that for now. But I'm gonna try to make every effort to see if I can switch a couple of gear pieces around. But all around, really, honestly, this is a good setup. My skill I'm using is a striker drone, and really the reason for that is because I don't want to run the merciless. I would much rather use the Eagle Bear, just mainly for the holster talent. I gain 10% bonus armor while firing. So that's 10%. You might not think is a whole lot, but it adds up. And then obviously I'm using the Mender Mine as well, and that heals me for about 14,000. And I did fail to mention that my sidearm, it has a perfect finisher on it, which is if I kill somebody with this weapon, as long as I swap within 10 seconds, I get 40% critical hit chance and 50% critical hit damage. So we'll take a look at the stats now, and you'll check it out. Watch. You'll see why I run that pistol. So with the pistol,
why did you pee on that? He's peeing. Move, babe. He peed all the way over here. Look at this shit. Go to your bed. To your bed. Go.
my little puppy. I'm sorry, guys. The PvP weapon damage is 12,762. The critical hit chance is 23, and the critical hit damage is 27. But like I said, with that pistol, you switch it within 10 seconds or 15. I'm sorry. You get 40% more critical hit chance and 50% more critical hit damage.
Oh my god, he peed all over under there too. Move. You might want to move your chair.
He didn't pee under there.
Yes,